Hey cruisers, welcome back to another awesome Vlogtober live stream. We're happy to have all of you here tonight. Tonight we are covering an awesome and very topical topic that I think anyone who's going on a cruise can benefit from, and that is 5 things that you must do if you are going to self-book your shore excursions, meaning that you are not going to book your shore excursions through the cruise line. You're going to go it alone. You're going to do your own research, and you're going to be brave. This can be done. I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that you can definitely do it. In fact, most of the time we book our own excursions now, and it does take a little bit of confidence and some preparation and some really good research, but we're going to go through 5 tips for you tonight that you must keep in mind if you're self-booking excursions. And then of course, we're going to ask all of you for a lot of different tips that we're gonna ask you to put into the live chat. So as we stream the live chat for people who are watching this as a replay, it will be totally information packed and they can get a ton of help and tips on booking their own excursions. Before we do that, I want to tell you about tonight's giveaway. Mr. CruiseTipsTV is going to pop something up on the screen for you all to see in just a moment. So Natasha, who is in the chat tonight, has a 31 store, and she has donated a beautiful cinch sack that is wonderful for cruises, and that is going to be a United States only. Natasha is mailing from the US, so we're going to do US only tonight. So stay tuned, and we will let you know later on how to enter that. We've been doing this around 6:25 or the last 5 minutes of the live stream, so stick around and we'll tell you exactly how to enter that. United States only on this one, but as you know, we're going to be doing a ton of international giveaways this month where we can. Thank you, Natasha, for donating the adorable product. If any of you are interested in checking out her site, it's in the description for this video already. You can go look. I have some wonderful things, including a makeup bag that I use of Natasha's that I really love. Thank you so much to all of you who are already in the chat, supporting one another, encouraging thumbs ups, and just sharing information. We love it. Let's get right into the tips though, and with whatever time we have left tonight, we will definitely do our best to answer questions. Mr. CruiseTipsTV will be putting questions on the screen for me in case I miss them, but if we miss you, come back tomorrow or DM me on Facebook and I will help you out. Mr. CruiseTipsTV, did it work putting the picture on the screen? Yeah, okay, great. So our number 1 tip, the number 1 thing that you must do if you are booking your own shore excursion, if you're booking outside the cruise line, is to do your own research online. It's not fair for me to just say do your research and then not tell you how. So let's talk specifically about some of the ways that you can research a shore excursion. You can use well-known review sites that talk all about cruising, like cruiseline.com. You can use specific sites that are dedicated to shore trips, like Viator and TripAdvisor. You can also do your research on Cruise Critic. They have a port area where you can research different excursions. Another thing that I think is really, really smart if you're booking your own shore excursion is to join the roll call for your cruise on many of those different sites mentioned. There are roll calls on cruiseline.com, there are roll calls on Facebook, and there are roll calls on Cruise Critic. So you can get out there, join those roll calls, and what you're gonna find is that people are talking about exactly what activities they're booking and with whom and how much they cost, and they're generally outside the cruise line, because in those forums you get people who have experience, maybe they've been to those ports before, they've done their research. It's a really, really good place to start. That is actually one of the things that I have been doing, researching our next cruise to Japan and Asia, is jumping in, because boy, is there ever a time when I should be nervous about booking my own excursions. Here we are going to a foreign country, many foreign countries, where there's many foreign languages and many foreign currencies. It's really scary. So the first thing I did is jump into those message boards and those roll calls and start looking for trusted providers. How you doing, Mr. CruiseTipsTV? Good. Sure. Yeah, do we have a reflection problem? Okay. Sorry, friends, we have a reflection problem, so hopefully I fixed it and gave you an opportunity to see my jammies of the night, which I know everybody loves. How's everybody doing in the chat now that we've got through tip number 1? Good tips there. Everyone's happy with that. Angela, thank you so very much for the super chat and the 5-year anniversary wishes. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Ella, the shore excursions you would book through Shipmate app are self-book. Anything that you book that's not with the cruise line we're talking about tonight would be self-booking. So however you book it, if you book it through a website like cruiseline.com or Shipmate app, or you book it through TripAdvisor, however you're booking it, as long as you don't book it with the cruise line, it's self-booked. All right, so tip number 2 is to get something in writing confirming your tour. So once you've confirmed and you've dialogued directly with that tour provider, you want to get something in writing that confirms not only your meeting place, but your departure time, but the emergency contact information for that shore provider. Should there be a delay, should there be a cancellation of your port, you need to know how to call them or email them. And that leads us to tip number 3 tonight, which is to, no matter what, you need to confirm that tour 1 to 2 days before you cruise. Or if you forget to do it, get online, purchase a little bit of internet time and email that shore excursion provider and get some confirmation from them that everything is set and you're still on. That's something that I highly recommend. Our number 4 tip tonight is actually something that came up in the pre-chat tonight when we all logged in and we were talking in advance. One of our subscribers was talking about ship time versus shore time. So our tip number 4 today is to make sure that you very carefully read your newsletter that's left in your stateroom the night before so that you understand the difference between ship time and shore time, because I can almost guarantee that your shore excursion provider has told you when to report on shore on their time, not the ship's time. So shore excursion providers almost always operate on their own time. They do not know and they do not care if you have changed time zones on the ship and what time zone your ship's clocks are set to. So when in doubt, if this makes you nervous, ask more than one person on the ship what the shore time is. It is okay to over prepare. It is okay to ask twice. In this case, believe me, I made the mistake of asking just one person one time, my room steward, and I almost missed a tour. He was a sweetheart, but he just didn't know. And we had sort of the last minute thought of, you know what, we better just check one more resource for that. And at the last minute we did, but it was a near miss for us. So make sure that you watch ship time versus shore time. And when you are confirming your tour, you want to let your tour provider know what time your ship is arriving in port and make sure that they give you enough time to get off of that ship. If you are tendering ashore, meaning you're taking one of the little boats ashore and you're not docking, give yourself a full hour from the time that the ship has anchored. And if you are docking, we suggest a minimum of 30 minutes between the time that you are going to walk off that ship or are able to walk off the ship to the time that you say you're going to meet that provider. More time, if you can, is always better. I have many stories of us running with a 2 or 3-year-old in tow trying to make it in time, because there can so often be confusion between shore time and ship time when you self-book. And the cruise line and the tour provider is not responsible for helping you to figure that out. So you've got to take control and you've got to really plan that one out. Okay, our last tip ties into all of these, and that is to be on time. Make sure that you are on time. If you are booking with a shore excursion provider, they're not going to wait for you unless you have a private tour. And in that case, they may not wait for you either. So be sure that you're on time. Pack some cash for gratuities. We'd highly recommend that you take cash for gratuities because most of these tour providers expect to be tipped, and you might want to have a variety of different types of bills. In the United States, when we're traveling in the US or somewhere where US currency is accepted, I pack a combination of 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s, and usually there is some opportunity to use every single one of those types of currency. Here's an example. Let's say you go on a tour for the day. We'll use our Jamaica Blue Hole excursion as an example. Here's how the tips worked for me that day. I had a driver who drove us around all day, and that person got 1 tip from us, probably $10 to $20 at the end of the day. When we arrived at the Blue Hole, we were greeted by a lifeguard who was then going to be showing us safely, our entire family. He was responsible for the safety of our family and was completely separate from the driver of the car as we navigated through the falls. He needed to get another $10 to $20, and I gave him 20 because not only did he keep us safe and look after our little one, he actually volunteered to take photos of us, wrap my camera in a waterproof bag in between waterfalls. I wasn't supposed to take my camera, but I did it anyway because duh, we're CruiseTipsTV and I'm vlogging it, right? And so he was definitely deserving of that. So here's $20, $40 in tips and one day on an excursion in cash, and you need to have cash. Then we went to a restaurant where we paid with our credit card but wanted to leave a few small bills on the table. Then we went shopping and needed small bills for making purchases. So as you can see, taking some cash is really critical, and also taking a credit card. Now, I know we could go into great detail today on what to put in your shore day bag, but we're actually going to film an entirely different episode on that another day later in Vlogtober because it's really a standalone episode. So stay tuned for the ultimate shore day bag. We have done this topic many times before though. We have covered what is inside of our shore day bags within our vlogs, and we've reviewed that so many times, but they're sort of hidden inside some of our videos. So we're gonna film a standalone episode on that. So those are our top 5 tips. And now I'm gonna jump in the chat and see how everybody is doing. Wow, we have a lot of folks hanging out with us today. So good to see all of you here. All right. I know, right, MG Tow? When you tip all of these people, the excursion costs just as much as the ship excursion. It can. Sometimes, I think the example that I gave you was probably a little bit extreme because it was a very long day, it was a full day, and it wasn't particularly expensive. So I think because we didn't pay a huge premium for it, I was feeling more generous and apt to take care of the people who took care of us, and they really did such a good job with that. All right, Mr. CruiseTipsTV, I'm gonna look at the document. Do you have any questions in the document for me, my dear? Yes, great. Let's answer some questions. Karen Thompson's going to Bermuda at the end of the month and needs some recommendations. Karen, I would like to recommend that you watch Doug Parker from Cruise Radio has an awesome video on YouTube called something like How to Get to Horseshoe Bay. I've heard that Horseshoe Bay is one of the most popular things to do. I would recommend that you do that. Gail, what do you do if you miss the boat? Gail, it's pretty darn rare. One of the things I didn't mention when I was going through my top 5 tips is that you really don't need to be as afraid of booking these independent shore excursions as you used to be. These providers know that their ratings on TripAdvisor or wherever their online ratings are, Facebook, are completely dependent on the safety and timely arrival back to the ship of the people who book with them. They are so motivated. They are so motivated to get you back to that ship in time. So they generally have guarantees that they will get you back. I would recommend that you choose an excursion provider that has a back to ship guarantee. All right. So many questions coming in. Ginger says, any ports we shouldn't self-book? Ginger, I think about that a lot, and off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I know that our subscribers are going to have some. I've heard people talk about being a little nervous in the Dominican Republic, and I can't think of any other ones right now. A year ago, I might have advised you to be careful in Jamaica, but no longer. I really feel like there's a lot of really safe and reputable tour providers in Jamaica, so I don't feel that way anymore. Okay, let's see here. Jenny says, if you self-book an excursion and your cruise changes the itinerary, what do you do then? Jenny, it depends on what the shore provider's availability of seeing you another day or at another time. What you would do is you would notify them by phone or email, which is a little bit difficult when you're on a cruise if you don't have Wi-Fi, but you've got to do that. Notify them of the problem and try to work it out either by phone or email. That's why it's so important to have an email dialogue going before so that you can reach out to them. We've actually had this happen before where we ended up docking very late in a cruise port in Mexico due to an itinerary change, and we had to email the provider, and they were accommodating. If it changes days entirely, you let them know and say, hey, look, we have been moved to Wednesday from Thursday. Can you accommodate our party? Okay. Lisa Lexo, should you book an excursion that includes plenty of people, avoid those with only a few participants? I think that's a very personal decision. To us, the more private the tour, the better. But again, I'm only going to book a very private tour if I feel comfortable with the ratings that I've read online, but we would rather smaller tours, and that's why we self-book. All right. Kelly says, with 3 kids, 4 and under, should we try booking outside the cruise line? Kelly, it totally depends on the port that you're traveling to. However, I would say yes, go for it. But again, use all of the tips that we gave you tonight and make sure you're choosing people who are very well reputed and well reviewed. We find that most of them do also carry very extensive travel insurance in whatever country or port that they're in. Whether or not that applies to you as an American or whatever nationality you are is another story. But quite honestly, we are just as comfortable booking outside of the line now, even with kids, and we did it when our child was small as well. Anna, how do you make sure the company you book with is not a scam? Is by using the tips that I gave you earlier, by really reading those reviews, really not just looking at how many stars they have, but how many reviews do they have on places like TripAdvisor and Viator and Facebook, but read what people say. Look for actual examples of what people's trip experiences were. If it feels small and funky, and if they only have 2 or 3 reviews and they seem new, or the reviews are too good to be true, then you know there's a problem. All right, Apollo wants tips for St. Lucia, folks. If anybody knows, let me know. Okay, Keisha OKC, excellent question. What is the benefit of self-booking and going through the cruise line? Let's talk about both. Keisha, first let's talk about the benefits of booking on your own. Number 1, booking on your own is almost always going to be cheaper. Number 2, it is almost always going to be less crowded. And number 3, you just have more freedom and choice. So those are the benefits of doing that. The smaller groups and the budget are usually the biggest reasons that we do it. The advantages to booking through the cruise line is you are 100% absolutely and totally always guaranteed, if you book through the cruise line, to be brought back to the ship in time, or that cruise will not leave without you. The ship will not leave you behind. That is the advantage. There's a peace of mind component as well to booking with a cruise line. And if that peace of mind means something to you and you really need that, if you're cruising with an infant or you just are new to cruising, booking with a cruise line is an excellent start. But we find that as people get more confident throughout their cruising life, that they definitely want to branch out and book outside. Okay? All right. Daisy wants some Nassau excursions for Atlantis, family of 4. Daisy, get online and book it in advance. Call them and talk to them if you have questions. Get there early. Watch our vlog on Atlantis from our very recent excursion on MSC Seaside. The kids need water shoes to protect their feet from the very hot pavement. Totally worth it though. If you want to spend the money, if you would spend the money on a theme park, get there as early as you can, leave as late as you can, and go have the time of your life. Atlantis is amazing. All right, Trisha, what excursion would I recommend in Grand Cayman, Stingray City or Dolphin Swim? I've never done the Dolphin Swim, but I think they're both probably amazing. If I were to go back, I would actually want to try the Dolphin Swim, if that helps you. Karen, does the ship run on your departing port the whole cruise? I think you mean the departing, the time zone of the departure port. And if that's what you mean, Karen, no, it generally does not. It depends on where you're cruising. Some cruises do, but most of them will run closer to shore time than your departure port time. All right. Ms. Starlang, going to the Mexican Riviera in 16 days on Bliss. Is it too late to plan any shore excursions? No, it's not too late. Recommendations for Mexican Riviera. We have so many vlogs, Ms. Star. I could go on and on. It depends on how active you are. Popular excursions in some of these ports, especially Vallarta, Cabo, and Mazatlan. If you ever see a salsa and salsa excursion, you might want to book it. You learn to salsa dance if you learn to make salsa, and it's very, very popular. In Cabo, we like taking a water taxi to Medano Beach. We have a how-to video. Just search Medano Beach in our vlogs. Medano is spelled M-E-D-A-N-O. And in Puerto Vallarta, one of the best things we ever did was go ziplining with Oh no, I've forgotten the name, but we did a vlog on it. Search Puerto Vallarta zip line in our video selection here on YouTube and you'll find it there. We also love to get a day pass at the Now Amber Resort in Puerto Vallarta. You need to email the hotel and make sure they have availability for that day. All right, trying to get through as many questions as I can today. Beatrice, can you hand carry a pack of soda cans and wine, or do they have to be packed in a carry-on bag? You can do it either way. If your cruise line allows beverages, make sure if it's Carnival, you do not pack any plastic. It must be cans or cartons, no plastic. Peggy, how about renting a car or a scooter and driving around? Thanks to us, you have 2 cruises booked. Peggy, I would say yes on the car, totally great, excellent idea, depending on your comfort level. I rarely ever do that because in foreign countries, I'm afraid of driving on the other side of the road and I'm afraid of the street signs being different, so it's not something we do, but if I was going to Alaska, I would totally rent a car. Okay, scooter, not my jam. I'm too old for that and I worry about my safety and you could really get hurt on a scooter, so I don't recommend it, but you could. All right, Carolyn D wants some suggestions for seniors in St. Martin. I think an island tour would be awesome. Get to the Dutch side and the French side. Even if you just book it with a taxi cab driver right when you get there, I think that'd be really fun for you. Apollo Nicholas, what happens to reserved excursion if the cruise line changes or cancels the scheduled port itinerary? That's what you need to find out when you book. Every single tour provider has different policies. Don't book it with someone who's not going to give you a full refund. That would be my advice. There should never be any charge at all if your ship does not call on that port. Any smart tour excursion provider is going to tell you that you will get all of your money back or you will not be paying for it if they cancel. That's how it should be. So be careful and book accordingly. Okay. Sarah Annette, what is a great excursion for Cozumel, Mexico? You cruise in November. We have some vlogs on this, Sarah Annette. Recently, we went to Mr. Sancho's. Other people love Nachi Cacombe. We love Nachi Cacombe Beach Club. That was our first experience in Cozumel. You could also do snorkeling. You could go on a Jeep tour. There's gazillions of things. Mr. CruiseTipsTV, I'm out of questions. Do you have more for me? No? Okay, good. I'll jump in the chat then. That's great. Let's see what everybody's up to. Oh, I love this. Yes. Chris Fox says, tip number 6, check the refund policy. Yes, Chris, thank you for that. Hooch says, be careful. Mr. Sancho's is closed on Sundays. Ooh, good reminder. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. My chat is stuck. Oh, there it goes. Woohoo! Gotta love technology. Shauna wants some suggestions for a St. Thomas excursion. Let's help. Starry Skies, ooh, has a fun one for Puerto Vallarta. So in Puerto Vallarta, Starry Skies did a foodie tour and took a taxi and it was fine. You caught one back to the ship from the Malecón. Yeah, Vallarta's a great place to branch out on your own. I think so. Brooke, I don't think I'd rent a car in LA or San Francisco, especially not San Francisco. San Francisco is not car friendly. Parking is an absolute nightmare. It is extremely expensive. The streets are narrow and you will not enjoy yourself. Walk in San Francisco. Get out to Alcatraz. Take a tour to Alcatraz, Brooke. That'll be so much fun. Okay. All right. Marie said in St. Martin, go to Sol y Luna. What is that, Marie? What kind of a place is that? Let us know. All right. Ooh, someone did a tequila tour. Rebecca, is it safe in Belize? In Belize, we booked our own excursion independent of the cruise line, and we felt very safe, I can tell you. Anna wants some suggestions for Costa Rica. Christina wants some Grand Turk excursions. I don't think there were a lot of extras, Rochelle, at Nachi. I think there's a few, but I don't think there's a ton. If anybody knows how much the extras cost at Nachi Cacombe, let us know. Erica, Progresso is the gateway to the ruins. I do suggest that if you visit Progresso that you get to the ruins. Karen wants to know if there's zip lines at Coco Cay. Anybody know if that's in the plans for Coco Cay? Okay, how are we doing keeping up with questions? Ooh, wow. Doing good, Mr. CruiseTipsTV? Yeah, Jennifer recommends Uber or public transport in San Francisco, to be sure. If you even drive, right, Jennifer? It's like, it is one place I would never rent a car. Royal Caribbean blog, hey, Matt is back in the house. Okay, let's see. Matt says go to St. John's when you're in St. Thomas, one of the most beautiful beaches ever been to. So what Matt does, you guys, when he goes to St. John's is even with his family, and he's self-booking this. I've heard your podcast on this, I know. So when Matt goes to St. Thomas, I believe he takes the ferry to St. John's, and I do believe there are 2 different ways to take the ferry. From what I've learned from Matt, there's 2 different places that you can take it. So you take a taxi and you take the ferry, and you're just careful about the time you come back. But I would recommend that. Based on what I've heard about Matt's experiences, do it. Okay. Hooch V said in St. Thomas they did the open van taxi tour and toured the island. You know what this is making me think, you guys, is that we really need to have a fun shore excursion live stream. Don't we need to just get out there and talk about several different ports and just go crazy with ideas in the chat on every port so that we can have this like powerhouse of information that all of us, when we go on a cruise, we can come back and we can read the notes? That's what I want to do. All right. Shauna wants to know if Trunk Bay is fully up and running. Great question. But in the meantime, we've got to get the giveaway going, you guys. We have 5 more minutes. I'm going to give you instructions right now. Remember, please, this is United States only, so please only enter the giveaway if you live in the US. I'm so sorry, but that's going to be the case sometimes here throughout the month. Okay, so to enter the giveaway, tell us, are you ready? Is everyone ready for this? Mr. CruiseTipsTV, you think you can tally fast enough? Get it into the randomizer? Okay, let us know your favorite port of all time. So favorite port of all time, that's all you have to do. Just a couple of words. Aruba, St. Thomas, whatever it was, go. And we're going to give everyone 3 minutes. So at 6:29, Mr. CruiseTipsTV should be able to finish the randomizing. Okay. Melissa, you could probably take a faux Christmas tree in your room. Just take a tiny one. Keep it really small. I think they'll allow it. I don't know about lights because of fire hazard, so I'd be careful about the lights, but maybe a fun little felt one or something. Getting a lot of cool ones coming in here. Loving it. We will have giveaways almost every day in the month of October. If the episode is recorded, you may not have a giveaway associated with it, but I cannot even begin to tell you guys how much amazing stuff we have in store for you. Ooh, I love all of these ideas. Ha! Aw, that's so sweet, Matt. The correct answer is any port you visit with Sherry. Why, thank you. I would like to be a port ambassador. That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, we have fun wherever we go. Ooh, I'm seeing some really good ones come in. I love this. I'm looking for some really creative ones here. Ooh, Curacao, Aruba, Skagway, Roatan. Ooh, a lot of Alaskan ports. Skagway is really coming in hot tonight. Costa Rica, Cozumel, Grand Turk, Montego Bay, Key West, Cape Canaveral. Ooh, Sarah says St. Martin. I love that, Carrie. Catalina's a great place. One of my favorite places. As a Californian, I sure love it. Marie says the French side of St. Martin. Diane says Puerto Rico. Shaylin says Honduras. Ooh, Half Moon Key, Connie. Yes, one of my favorites too. Leah says Progresso. Leah, if you've been to Progresso, give us some tips on Progresso. What did you do there? Let us know. Amber Cove. Vallarta says Blaine. All right, Buddy Bear says Grand Cayman. Desi says San Juan. Sean, Key West. Okay, let's see if I can grab a few more questions. All right, 1 more minute to enter into the contest. You must be a U.S. resident, and all you have to do is tell us your favorite port. Elias, Key West for the Key Lampai. Ginger, Ixtapa. Isn't Ixtapa and Zihuatanejo beautiful, Ginger? We've only been there once, but my goodness sakes, I'd love to go back. Ooh, yeah, Gail says Pompeii. Fallen Brubaker says St. Croix. So many good ones. So many good ones. Miami, Honolulu, Progresso. All right, super fun. So hopefully this was an action-packed episode for everyone tonight and that you enjoyed the tips in the beginning. I really feel like the time went by too fast tonight, so I feel like we need to do a lot more talk about ports and a lot more talk about shore excursions, so I will definitely make a note of that. And again, later this month, let's make a video about the ultimate shore day bag, shall we? Okay, I don't, Ella, have a discount code for the Relief Band right now, but if you follow Relief Band on their Facebook page and website, check them out and see if they have one. Liz, yeah, MSC Seaside displays ship time on the ship, but like all ships, I don't remember seeing it all the time. I remember having to dig around for it a little bit, but that's how I feel on most ships. Some of them have them in the hallways. All right. Another special thanks to Natasha from 31 for donating this beautiful gift tonight. There's a lot more to come from Natasha this month, so stay tuned. Natasha and I worked together to craft some cool items that were great for cruisers. And I think you're gonna love all of them. Okay, so Mr. CruiseTipsTV, how we doing? You've made it, you've randomized, right? Okay, he's doing the final touches on the countdown, and I can see that it's almost done here. And our winner of Natasha's 31 cinch sack in the color Patio Pop, if you want to put it up on the screen again, Mr. CruiseTipsTV, can you do that or no? Is Hannah Heil. And Hannah said Grand Cayman. Congratulations, Hannah. Hannah, what I need you to do is email me, sherry@cruisetipstv.com. Your physical address, please do not type it in the chat. If you prefer to Facebook DM me, that is also fine. Natasha will be mailing that to you directly. Yay! All right, ooh, Rich's Travel Adventures. Thank you so much for the tip on Japan. I've been starting to collect them today. I got so many messages, probably 3 or 4 messages today about ideas for our trip. So I'm really, really appreciative of that. And anyone who sends me those notes, I'm actually putting them in a document. It's literally called Subscriber Ideas for Japan. So please keep them coming, you guys. I know, right? Brooke, live streams after Japan cruise in Japanese. Oh, I know, right? I don't think I'm gonna pick it up that fast. Well, congratulations, Hannah, and thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I want to tell you what the next few days' topics are. You guys know that I have brain mush right now, right? We talked about that last night. That I'm literally having a hard time keeping track of what we're doing, what night, and even talking right now because Vlogtoberfest. It's just hard to keep track. So what we do is we take it one day at a time. I take it one day at a time. So my husband and I, what we do is a good month before Vlogtober, this is our 2nd year doing it, we lay out a calendar. And the calendar, this isn't it, but it looks kind of like this, and it's in a Google Doc. And we map out the entire month, and then we work with all the brand partners that are giving us giveaways, and then we plug in all the giveaways. And then we step back and we take a moment, and then we go back in and we plug in all the tips, and then we step back and we breathe a little bit more. But then by the time Vlogtober comes around, I just take it day by day, and I don't have them all memorized. So please bear with me, you guys, if my blonde hair is showing through this month, because I'm telling you, it is day by day. But let's talk about the schedule. Speaking of that, I'm getting my roots done on Saturday, which is why our live stream on Saturday is at a weird time. It is at a really weird time. Did you guys see that? We're going live Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. When have we ever done that? But that's because I have to drive pretty far to get my hair done, and I'm gonna be gone. So that's what we're doing. So our next live stream is tomorrow night. We're gonna do another fun 5 tips episode, and that is going to be 5 things to do on embarkation day. And we really want you all to come back and share in the chat what you like to do on embarkation day, because we love talking about this topic. It's the happiest day of the cruise. So come join us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's Friday night. Saturday, it is a very special episode that Mike and Cheryl inspired called Cruising Past and Present, and I cannot wait to talk about what all of the old traditions gone by were. And I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my goodness. Yep. Bless me. Sorry guys, that was probably really loud in your microphone and I didn't give you any warning, sweetie. I don't know where that came from. Please don't let me get a cold or get sick during Vlogtober. That's all we're asking. Please, please let us not get sick. Okay, so Cruising Past and Present is 5 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, October 6th. And did you guys see the thumbnail that Mr. CruiseTipsTV designed? He found old cruise pictures from like probably the 60s, if I had to guess. And some video is coming on this as well. Maybe, if he can work it in. He found some old video of people on a cruise. They were playing sports out on the deck, okay? So just picture these beautiful ladies with like, really pretty Veronica Lake hair and like cute little tops and white shorts. And they're like volleying a ball, and it was some nondescript sport. It was like not tennis or volleyball. It was some other weird thing, like I don't know what it was. It looked like badminton, kind of. And the ladies were wearing pumps. And I was like, wait. Rewind. They were wearing the cutest little heels. So that's probably one thing that has changed about not only cruising, but the world. Most of us ladies don't play sports in our pumps anymore. But anyway, it was so cute, and we're really excited to share that with you. And then this Sunday, I'm looking at my notes, bear with me, I want to get the time correct. Sunday at noon Pacific. So our normal live stream time, but on Sunday, is our first of the cruise line tips and tricks series that we're doing next week. So it is Princess Cruises Tips and Tricks live on Sunday at noon Pacific time. So that is what we all have to look forward to for the next 4 days. Hannah, you are a good student. I see that you already emailed me. I have my email pulled up here. That was the fastest giveaway response ever. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much. Yes, one last question. I would love to answer it. Oh, did you put it in the document? I love this new system, honey. It's so great. I have too many tabs open on my computer, but other than that, it's great. Okay, we have a question that came in. Diane said, I didn't get to your question. I'm so sorry, Diane. Yes, has anyone used Uber or Lyft rather than a taxi or official excursion on the Hawaiian Islands? NCL Pride of America next April. You could, Diane, but it might be really expensive just to get from one place to another in Hawaii using Uber or Lyft. And Uber and Lyft aren't really designed to stay with you all day. I would rather see you either rent a car, Diane. Car rental in Hawaii is very common. Jeep rental is pretty easy over there. I would rather see you do that than Uber or Lyft unless you're uncomfortable driving, or try to get a guide for the day. Go on to Viator and see if you can get a guide for the day. Mr. Cruise Tips TV, anybody else that we've missed? No, okay, everyone's happy, we're happy, we haven't missed anyone. Always message me on Facebook if I've missed you. If it takes me a day during Vlogtober to get back to you, it's just because I'm a little extra behind, but I will get to you. All right. Thank you all so much, and we will see you tomorrow. We're so excited. You guys know, stop it, my guns and religion. I will not play sports and pumps. You know I love going back and watching the chat, so I'm gonna go see what I missed later tonight when I'm relaxing in the bathtub. I will go watch the whole entire chat for my entertainment for the evening. But thank you all so much for your kind words and for all of the energy that you bring to the live streams. We'll see you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific, for Friday night embarkation day live chat. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Night, night.
Hey, click me to subscribe.